Once upon a time, in the era of Dwapara Yuga, the third age of the world's cycle of yugas, Satya Yuga, Tetra Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga, in which humanity shows its first significant decline in righteousness. An age where morality and immorality coexist equally, and spirituality is deteriorating. In this age, Krishna, an avatar of Vishnu, took birth to establish a dharma, divine truth or justice. He taught humanity vital lessons to expand their consciousness. He taught about dharma, responsibility, righteousness, devotion, the essence of life, and fulfilling responsibilities without concern to the outcome, emphasizing unselfish conduct. He played a very important role in this era, where the great epic of Mahabharata taken place.
Whenever there is a decline in righteousness and an increase in sinfulness, O descendant of Bharata, at that time I manifest myself on earth to protect the righteous, to annihilate the wicked, and to re-establish the principles of dharma. I appear on this earth, age after age. Weapons cannot shred the soul, nor can fire burn it. Water cannot wet it, nor can the wind dry it. All the best among warriors fight for the sake of duty, treating alike happiness and distress, loss and gains, victory and defeat, fulfilling your responsibility. In this way, you will never incur sin.
The Mahabharata, Season 1, Episode 9. The Story of King Shantanu. The great epic of the Mahabharata spans many generations and dozens of kings. As described previously, these kings of Bharata dynasty have achieved material prosperity with their strength and character. Their whole life and activity was centered around upholding the rule of dharma. Under such ethos and culture, the kingdom of Kuru prospered around Hastinapura. Business and commerce, peace and prosperity, art and literature flourished all around. People both inside the palace and outside were happy. High standard of education, both secular and spiritual, was maintained through the system of Gurukula, students staying with their teacher in an ashrama during their studentship. Hard work, honesty, and sincerity made these students better citizens. The teacher guru was well versed in all aspects of arts and science related with politics, statesmanship, warfare, and economics. Yoga and meditation were routinely included in the curricula. There was once a king named Mahabisha. He was born in the Suryanvasha, Sun dynasty of kings. A very powerful and righteous king, he had performed 1,000 Ashwamedha sacrifices and 100 Vajrapaya sacrifices. As a result of his good deeds, he attained heaven when he passed away. One day, The gods all went to worship Lord Brahma. Mahabisha was also present. The goddess of the river, Ganga, had also come to worship Brahma. Suddenly, there was a gust of wind that momentarily lifted Ganga's clothing. All the gods lowered their heads to avoid looking at Ganga, but Mahabisha lustfully stared at her. Angered by Mahabisha's conduct, Brahma cursed.
Mahabisha, you shall be reborn on earth. Only then will you obtain Swarga again.
Mahabisha prayed that he be born as the son of King Pratipa, the ruler of the Kuru kingdom. The wish-fulfilling cow. While returning home from the gathering, Ganga met the Vasus, or the Bright Ones, 8 elemental gods who are the attendants of Indra. The Vasus looked crestfallen with despair, so Ganga asked them what had happened. The 8 Vasus narrated.
Once, we were strolling in the forest near Mount Meru with our wives. As we were enjoying ourselves, the wife of Dayas, one of the Vasus, saw a beautiful cow. Enamored with the cow, she showed the cow to her husband.
Dayas explained.
This cow is the daughter of sage Kashyapa and his wife Sarabi. It belongs to sage Apava Vashishta, the son of Mitra Varuna. He obtained it to perform different sacrifices. It is said that a person who drinks this cow's milk will live as a youth for 10,000 years.
Dayas's wife replied,
I have a friend named Jinavati, the daughter of King Usinara. She is young and famed for her beauty. I want to give this cow and its calf to my friend. When she drinks it, she will be the only human freed from age and disease. Please.
Not considering the consequences, we all decided to steal the cow and the calf. When Apava Rishi returned to his hermitage in the evening, he couldn't find his cow nor the calf. Through his spiritual powers, he learned that we had stolen the cow. He cursed us, saying,
Let the Vasus be born on earth as men.
When we learned about his curse, we rushed to his hermitage and tried to pacify him. Rishi Apava said,
I cannot take back my curse, but you will be freed from earth within a year of your birth. However, Dayas, who is the reason for all of this, will have to dwell on earth for a long time. During his time on earth, he won't beget any children, but he will be very virtuous and will always obey his father.
The request of the Vasus.
Please be our mother when we are born on earth.
The Vasus requested. Ganga agreed and then asked,
Who will be your father?
King Pratipa will soon have a son named Shantanu. We would like Shantanu to be our father. Also, please throw us into the water as soon as we are born, so that we can quickly go back to heaven.
The Vasus requested.
I will do as you say, but I must let Dayas live as per the curse.
Yes, we will each contribute 1/8 of our respective energies to this son. Thus, this valorous son will be born to you.
The Vasus responded. The birth of Shantanu. There was a great king named Pratipa of the Kuru lineage. He was the king of the Kuru kingdom. He was married to Sunanda, the daughter of the king of Sivi. Pratipa spent many years performing penance on the banks of the Ganga river. One day, the goddess Ganga appeared before him in the form of a beautiful woman. She approached him and sat on his right thigh. Pratipa asked the woman what she wanted.
I want you, great king, Accept my desire and love me.
Ganga said.
I have taken a vow that I will not be swayed by other women, so I cannot accept you.
Pratipa said. Ganga tried to convince Pratipa to change his mind, but Pratipa did not budge. Eventually, he said,
You have sat on my right thigh, which is meant for daughters and daughter-in-laws. The left thigh is meant for a desirable woman. But you rejected it. Because you sat on my right thigh, you shall be my daughter-in-law. When I have a son, you will be his wife.
Ganga agreed to this and then disappeared. Meanwhile, King Pratipa waited for a son. The tragic story of Devapi. Soon, a son named Devapi was born to Pratipa and Sunanda. He was very virtuous, honest, and generous. Everyone in the kingdom, including his father, dearly loved him. However, he suffered from leprosy or a severe skin disease. Pratipa and Sunanda then had a second son named Balaka. Several years later, when they were very old, Pratipa and Sunanda had a third son named Shantanu, who was very virtuous from a young age. Shantanu was Mahabisha reborn. In course of time, Pratipa became old and prepared for Devapi to become the next king. However, the Brahmins and elderly citizens restricted the coronation of Devapi. They said that the diseased king would be considered inauspicious. When King Pratipa heard about this, he was crushed by the news and burst into tears. On the other hand, Devapi became despondent and went to the forest, where he spent his life in penance. After Devapi left, Balaka left for Sivi, his maternal grandfather's kingdom. There he acquired a lot of wealth and eventually succeeded his maternal grandfather as the king of Sivi. Thus, Pratipa appointed his youngest son Shantanu as the king and prepared to retire to the forest. Before leaving for the forest, Pratipa told Shantanu,
Many years ago, I promised a celestial damsel that my son would marry her. If she approaches you with the desire to marry and have children, accept her as your wife.
After saying this, Pratipa left to pursue the path of spirituality in the forest. The drought of Hastinapura. Shantanu was a great king and was loved by his people. He was also an extraordinary physician. It is said in ancient medical books that if he touched anyone, even someone with the deadliest disease, he could instantly cure them. However, during the first year of his rule, there was no rain the entirety of the Kuru kingdom. More years passed, and still there was no rain. Shantanu became very agitated. Without rain, the harvests were failing, and the kingdom was running out of food. He gathered the learned Brahmins and asked them why there was no rain. The Brahmins responded,
The gods are unhappy with you. You are enjoying the throne of Hastinapura, but it rightfully belongs to your elder brother, even though he has leprosy. You have thus become a Pariveda, a usurper. Unless Devapi becomes unrighteous, the kingdom is technically his. You need to give him the kingdom for there to be rain.
Shantanu decided to approach Devapi and request him to take the throne. However, a minister named Asmarizaran overheard this conversation. Like others, he wanted Shantanu to remain the king. They did not want to have a diseased man as the king. So Asmarizaran found some men who taught unrighteous doctrines that contradicted the Vedas. He secretly sent these men to Devapi to convert Devapi into an unrighteous man. He knew that if Devapi became unrighteous, Shantanu's rule of the kingdom would become justified. Shantanu and Devapi meet again. A couple of days later, Shantanu and the Brahmins set out to find Devapi and persuade him to become the king. When they arrived at Devapi's hermitage, Shantanu said,
"Brother, you must become the king. It is said in the Vedas that the kingdom is the right of the eldest brother."
But Devapi started saying things against the Vedas. Shantanu was shocked. The Brahmins turned to Shantanu and said,
Devapi has become unrighteous. He has disrespected the Vedas. Since Devapi is unrighteous, your rule is now justified.
Shantanu listened to the Brahmins and returned to Hastinapura. Soon enough, Indra sent down torrents of rain in the Kuru kingdom. Farmers rejoiced as their harvest became successful after years of futile work. From this story, remind us, there are certain things in life that are preordained, either due to our destiny or due to our karma. The sagacious ones, thus, often say that destiny is nothing but our karma yielding its consequences. Let us continue to embark on a journey through time to explore the origins of this timeless epic. The story of mankind, the story of Dharma.